The world of real estate has changed forever. The landscape is not what we have known it to be for the last 10, 15, or 20 years. The world of business is changing at a velocity that we are having a struggle keeping up, but there are people that are staying at the forefront. Listen, guys, this is our moment to take advantage of this second wave of shift and growth that we are experiencing. Welcome to Agents in the Trenches, the place where we talk about the real, raw realities of what is happening, not just in the real estate world, but in the business world at large. And here's what I know that visibility right now, my friends, is everything. Visibility is the new currency. Right now, it's a matter of understanding what it is that we must do to stay visible in this ever changing world. And when it comes to selling real estate, when it comes to understanding that customers are no longer going to be looking for us the same way that they used to look for us before. I recall when I first got into real estate, how all the agents would go to the office because that's where the customers would walk into looking for a real estate agent. Those days are long gone. Where and how are customers able to find you? How are you going to maintain the relevancy that you must maintain, not just in social media, but in so many other different arenas? And that's what we're going to talk about today with my guest, a man that is at the forefront of the industry, someone that has been outselling his competition, his contenders, by staying consistent in what he does. So I want to welcome to Agents in the Trenches a dear colleague, Steve Robertson, who is going to share with us today what he is doing to make plays in this real estate world. Welcome, Steve. How are you?
Great.
Excellent. Well, listen, I always like to say to my guests that come on to Agents in the Trenches, first and foremost, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me, for accepting the invitation. No one knows you better than you. So go ahead and tell our audience a little bit about yourself, the past, the present, and where you are right now.
Thank you again for having me, and a very good morning to everybody who's watching. So I'm in Austin, Texas. I've been a real estate broker for 20 years. Moved here from San Diego in 2006. Got my real estate license in 2007, and then got a broker's license in 2011. And ever since then, I have been breaking records and outselling lots of people. So just having a good time doing it, staying in front of my audience. I moved into a specific neighborhood on the west side of town. Austin is very small for those of you who are familiar. It is not like a Los Angeles or even a San Diego County. It's relatively small in terms of proximity. It's probably about an hour from corner to corner. And so I implemented a geo farming strategy probably 3 or 4 years into my career, which has paid me dividends for the last decade, maybe 12 to 13 years. One of the things that I noticed immediately when I started in real estate was this roller coaster of income. 1 month, maybe 8 to 10 to 12, $20,000. The next month, maybe $2,000. Extremely frustrating, extremely challenging, and anxiety provoking. It's very difficult, obviously, to pay the bills when you don't know where your money is coming from. And so I thought, well, what's the best way that I can consistently provide income for myself while staying in front of my audience and being proactive and persistent and getting my face out there in front of the people that I wanted to help. And at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. We are helping people. And I think it's important that you have the proper mindset when you start a geo farm, which we're going to get into all the details about that. You are literally planting seeds in a specific area where you want to harvest fruit, in other words, listings. And so before we jump into all of that, I kind of want to step back just 1 second. The way that you pick a farm is also really, really important. You want homes that are on average 3 to 5, maybe 7 years old. Ideally, you don't want to be competing with new builders. So in 2026, the new builders, specifically in Austin, have far deeper pockets than resellers. And so we are blessed in Austin, Texas, Travis County specifically, to have a lot of inventory.
That's awesome. So let's back up a little bit while people are joining us. If you're watching live, I'd like everyone to give us a hashtag live. I'd like everyone that is watching live to share this with your audience. I want you to go ahead and click share and start asking your questions. So we have a 20-year expert that is going to go deep on, geo farming, knowing how to keep your business consistent. This is super valuable because it doesn't matter whether you are brand new into the business, whether you've been in the business for 20, 25 years, or whether you've been in the business for 5 months. It really doesn't matter. Steve, take us back to when you first got into real estate, because you and I met on a masterclass, right? We were in a masterclass together. And I was very impressed by your story. I think stories help us to resonate with people, to identify. It helps us to humanize ourselves, right? Because it's one thing to say, here's what I'm doing to make money in real estate, but it's another thing to be able to say, hey, listen, I've struggled. I've gone through ups and downs, and here's what's working. And here's what I think you should try. So tell us a little bit about your story. You worked with a brokerage for many, many years as well. Take us back to the beginning and give us those moments of transition that have kept your career growing.
So excellent segue. So I was with the same broker right when I got out of real estate school, right when I got my license. These certain brokerages will come to the Champion School of Real Estate, and they'll promote themselves as the training brokerage. And this is where you want to hang your license, and this is where you can kind of cut your teeth and learn the ins and outs of how to help people with the biggest transaction of their life. So I went with a brokerage that I felt good about. I stayed with that same brokerage for 20 years. For 20 years, 2 decades, and slowly rose to the top. The first 2 or 3 years of having a real estate license, I had no clue what to do or how to do it or why I was doing it. I was playing a lot of golf. I was swimming. I was exercising. I didn't really know how to connect with an audience. And truth be told, I thought, who in the world is going to trust me to help them sell their home, much less, $1 million house, or who's going to, why am I the expert? And where am I going to gain this confidence to feel like I'm the expert? And so there was a learning curve associated with getting into the deep end in terms of really learning how to help people effectively and finding my niche, what I was good at. And I think for the overall audience watching, it's really important for you to figure out what you're good at and to stay in your lane. So if you're an extrovert, that's one thing. If you're an introvert, that's different. There's only one of you, and that's your superpower. And so I think authenticity now more than ever is the most important thing that we can share with our audience. There's only one of you, and your message will resonate with your particular sphere and your audience. So
which one are you? Which one would you say you are? Are you the introvert, extrovert, ambivert, right? Which one would you say you are?
A little of both. I definitely lean towards a high I. For those of you who are familiar with a DISC assessment, if you have not taken a DISC assessment, I highly recommend it. You can find these for free, but I'm definitely an extroverted person. Give me a microphone, give me a stage. And I'm more than happy to open my playbook and share and preach on particular subjects, especially farming, and just staying in front of audiences. I love connecting people and bringing people together and lifting others up and inspiring and motivating, because I started from nothing and essentially built a really successful business, much like Lucy did. And I'm really proud of that fact. It took a long time to get where I am now. So
tell us a little bit about your early days. First of all, what got you into real estate? Because there's a lot of people that are going to be watching this on replay. Our numbers are somewhere around 23,000 within 90 days runs or tracking that we do. So again, if you're here watching live, start sharing it on all the groups, guys. There's a lot of real estate groups out there that have a lot of realtors that need to hear this, because this is going to get really interesting and very valuable. So Steve, why real estate? Why did you get into real estate as a real estate agent?
The reason that I got into real estate was for the freedom, hands down, 1000%. I did not want to work for someone else. I wanted to run my own business. I wanted to do my own thing on my own terms, and I wanted to live life on my terms. I was also attracted to the money. I'm not going to lie. I thought, you know what? There's no ceiling to the amount of money that I can earn helping people. And again, it's really important to remember that at the end of the day, that's what we are doing. So if your heart is in the right place and your mind is in the right place, and you're really bringing value to the relationship, and that should be your core, your sort of North Star, then the money just comes naturally. And so I didn't want to be limited to an office. I didn't want to be stuck in such a structured environment. And ironically, I've ended up back with lots of structure, of course, on my day-to-day stuff. But the freedom was huge. The ability to travel, the ability to not have any debt, the ability to live life on my own terms, the ability to be on stages and share knowledge with people, and just to grow personally and professionally. So those were the driving factors, definitely.
Once you entered the world of real estate, did you realize that it wasn't going to be as easy as maybe you thought? Because a lot of people get into real estate thinking, I want the freedom, I want to be my own boss, I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it, I want to make a lot of money, right? I don't want anyone telling me what to do, and I want to become a millionaire. Was it really that easy for you, or did it? Tell us about the moment when reality hit in, and then that's going to take us to how you found a way to stay relevant, which is your geographical farming, right? So when did reality hit it, and then what happened?
So I think reality hit real quickly, because I realized that that nobody knew that I was a real estate agent, and nobody really cared. And that's pretty harsh, but that's the truth. It was up to me to get in front of a particular audience and tell everyone and anyone that I was the expert, even though I was doing a little bit of sort of faking it till you make it sort of stuff. But truth be told, I was the expert. I knew more than the person that I was talking to always. And if I didn't have the answer to a particular question, I was surrounded by people who I could get that answer from. And so I remember my broker coming to me maybe 3 or 4 years into my career saying, I can't believe you're still a real estate agent. You haven't sold over $1 million and it's been 4 years. And I had sort of a come to Jesus moment. And I just thought to myself, it's time to get my butt in gear and figure out how to consistently earn, how to basically really get specific with my goals, midterm, short-term, midterm, and long-term, writing them down and getting crystal clear on how to attain those goals, the steps I need to take on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, and just really mapping that out. And now I actually carry those goals around with me. And so with AI, there's no excuse. If you want to net $1 million per year, there's absolutely no excuse that you can't do that. And you can have a detailed playbook on exactly how you want to do it and when and all that fun stuff.
So I want to break this down for everyone that's going to be watching us on replay and everyone that's here live. Your broker, 4 years after you getting into real estate, 4 years, we're talking about what, 48 months later, right? Not 48 days, not 48 weeks, 48 months later came and said, hey, you've been in real estate for 4 years and you still haven't even reached $1 million. Just so that everyone understands, making $1 million in real estate, a volume of $1 million, you're really looking at around $30,000 in income. That's what the money translates into, right? Using average numbers, using the best of averages, right? So what was missing, because that's the part that we like to get into, is the heartbeat of, okay, what was missing that you had not broken that $30,000 a year glass ceiling? Because you said, when he told me that, I was like, okay, I've got to get serious. I've got to get to work. What was missing? What were you not doing?
The things that were missing really were structure, for one, structure, goals that were written down, a specific and measurable game plan, smart goals that are measurable and attainable and trackable. If you can't track it, then you're in the dark. And I didn't have a North Star. I didn't know what it was that I didn't necessarily know what it was that I was capable of until it was a chicken and egg thing. So until I started generating $20,000 and $30,000 a month consistently, I didn't realize that I was capable of doing that. And so I had to sit down with a mentor and get really crystal clear on why I became a real estate agent and what it is that I wanted long term. And that was to be able to take care of the people in my life, my family, to be out of debt, again, to have the ability to travel. You can see this background here. That's Cabo San Lucas. I spend a lot of time in Cabo. So once I got crystal clear on my goals and I wrote those down, then everything slowly started to fall into place. And then I had to come up with the tools to attain the goals. And so that's when things really fell into place.
I love that.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the magic of what you've been doing, how long have you been doing geo farming for now?
15 years.
Okay, 15 years. Before we jump into the magic of what you've been doing consistently being the key word, right? For 15 years, you made a transition. You made a transition into the future of real estate, a very futuristic transition, something that you felt was going to reposition you to be ready for what is happening now today in our real estate industry, where I am the first to say, traditional things are broken. The consumer is no longer traditional. We cannot continue to operate in a traditional manner because obviously, the days of riding around in a pony are over. We've got electrical cars, but pretty soon we'll have flying cars, right? So tell us a little bit about that experience, because that's where I really resonated with you, because you said, I've done good, but I need more. There's more out there. And so an opportunity came with a very futuristic platform, eXp Realty. Tell us about that.
Well, so someone introduced, so I was 20 years at this brokerage. We'll call it a mom and pop brokerage, kind of a larger mom and pop brokerage. But I just realized that the opportunities for growth and transition and expansion in terms of me spreading my professional wings were limited, and I was stagnating. And I know that we've all been there. I was going through the motions. I was going into an empty office 99% of the time. I was using the copy machine. If I was in the office, I was really more distracted with small talk with colleagues versus actually getting my work done. And I just felt as though I was kind of circling the drain. That's probably the best analogy to use. So was not reaching my potential. Someone took me to EXPCon in Miami. This was about 16, 18 months ago. And that changed my life forever. I was exposed to, it's like literally going from a small office into, a cathedral. It was life-changing. And I thought, if this is how my career can be, the sky's the limit. And so I just took the baton and literally started sprinting towards the end zone. The farming started years ago. Now I've just supercharged my business and taken it completely to the next level with AI. And now I've got virtual assistants and all of these other things that I've implemented. It's just, proximity is power. And so it's all about the people that you're surrounding yourself with, having the opportunity to be here to contribute to your audience. What a blessing that is. I'm so grateful. The phone calls that we get on every week, and the camaraderie and the collaboration, it's been a game changer for my business. And now my audience has expanded, and so is my farm, actually. And so, yeah.
So you saw an opportunity, and guys, this is what's really important for all of us, to be open-minded and big thinkers, and really take a look back and say, okay, am I in the best position to expand my business, to scale my business, right? to take my business to another level or to its next level. And I think that, Steve, that is one of the biggest conversations that a lot of people are having right now. We are seeing a lot of disruption. We are seeing a lot of major shifts in the real estate world. Its landscape, the narrative is not the same anymore, right? We've seen things like the big, lawsuit that just disrupted how agents were used to doing business. Now we're seeing mergers happening that we never imagined would happen in the traditional world of real estate. Now we're seeing, affiliations being created with large mega organizations that are joining forces. And I'm always the one that wants to be that voice of, hey guys, get ready. Hey guys, this is your moment. You need to think beyond the transaction. You need to think beyond, the Monday to Friday. You need to think beyond, where do I really want to go? You said something very powerful. Number one, you got a mentor, right? Number two, you started tracking, you started measuring, you started managing your activities. You got good at what you did. But what I want to really, bring to the forefront is 16, 19 months ago or so, you were probably thinking, is this all there is for my career in real estate? Because you were showing up at the office and it was empty. You were drinking up all the coffee that you could at the office. You were hanging around with me, myself, and I, which is usually the worst company we could keep, right? We need to get around people that are movers and shakers and game changers and, people that are building momentum. So if there's anything I want to say, and I want you to chime in on your perspective with this, is number one, you got to get visible. Number two, proximity is power. Number three, you've got to be a big thinker. You've got to be open-minded. Number four, the traditional world of real estate is over. It is broken. And so many people want to stay, in the familiar, right? But you've got to take a leap of faith. You've got to connect with people and say, listen, you know what? I don't even know what I'm going to do, but I know I have to do something because what I'm doing now is not going to work. So what do you think about those 4 points that I just shared? So we can jump into your geo magic.
Well, so I think data is so critical and so important. And the fact that not making a decision is making a decision.
Yes.
So when you wake up and you don't have a plan for your day and you go to bed at night, not knowing what you're going to do when you wake up the next morning, that's a decision that you're making. If you're comfortable with $2,500 per month, and that was me 25, 30 years ago, then that's what you will earn per month. And that's okay. If you prefer to earn $50,000 per month or 100, then that's where your standard will be. And you just watch how your life changes. And so you've got to get really crystal clear on what it is that you want and why you want it, and then work backwards and actually create that in your life and watch how things change. I mean, it's miraculous. And so there are so many people who are doing the things that we want to do in this life. I think that we have a tendency to overthink things so much and just get in our heads. You'd like to be more like Coach Lucy than just simply get with Coach Lucy and ask her questions and learn and take notes and take it seriously, or talk to me. When I have people that ask me to meet them for a cup of coffee, or they just want to take 15 minutes with me on the phone, I immediately like them, because I think, oh my gosh, you're so smart. Just the fact that you want to follow me on a listing appointment, or you want to shadow me at an open house. Brilliant decision, by the way. Smart thinking. Way to go, Mr. 25-year-old person who wants to be a successful agent. I already like you, and I'm already willing to share my valuable time and energy with you because you're stepping up and you're taking charge. That's attractive. You're not going to be successful accidentally.
No.
People don't become successful agents earning $100,000 a month, and I've done this exact thing, by being a secret agent.
Yeah.
It starts right in here, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. So you've got to fill yourself up, get your GRI designation, get all the designations you can. Don't make excuses because you're a new agent. That's a bunch of nonsense. Sign up, get involved, get up, dress up, show up. There's all sorts of resources, and particularly with EXP. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
We could fire hose you with so much training and so much knowledge. And these are people, just heads up, a lot of these people have literally moved to Puerto Rico because they're earning so much money that they don't want to pay taxes on it anymore from real estate. So when I talk about earning six figures in a month, it is absolutely 1000% doable.
Yes.
Once you start doing that, then all of a sudden your life completely changes. And then you're buying your mom a house, and then you
Yes.
get a car. I bought my mom a home 5 years ago. I feel so blessed. And it's not my money, it's God's money, but I just feel so grateful for the opportunity to take care of my mom. And it's just, I mean, there's just so many opportunities. Your income literally is limitless. I guarantee the top person at Oracle or Dell or something, you might make $250,000 a year and you have all these meetings and all these other obligations. In real estate, you do have lots and lots of freedom, but you've got to bring value to the relationship.
Of course. And we don't want anybody, there's a lot of great people, a lot of great realtors that are joining the live. We're just coming out of the Memorial Day weekend, so everybody's a little, sluggish today. But guys, listen up. This is going to get good. For everyone that just joined us, Steve has been in real estate for 20 years. He started as a brand new, agent like everyone, went through the struggles, went through the pain, hung in there for 4 years, right? 4 years, couldn't break 30,000 a year, right? And then suddenly you got serious about working. And you know what, Steve, there's something I want to tell the world, because I have people that watch this locally, nationally, and internationally. The magic of real estate. I'm going to give you the magic of real estate and how you could build the life of your dreams, make all the money on the planet that you've ever wanted to make, get around the most successful, most amazing people that you ever dream of. Here's the magic. You ready? Write it down. WORK, like your life depends on it. Work. Because work works. Stop playing small. Stop, dabbling in real. I'm going to try this today and I'm going to try that tomorrow. And I'm going to do one open house and I'm going to do, one for sale by owner call. And I mean, you got to get out of the oneness, right, Steve? Do you agree?
How hungry are you? How bad do you want it? How are you willing to show up early and stay late? I have news for you. One of the first investors that I ever met lived right down the street from where I was renting a room in a house. And he must have told me 10 times he loved my hustle. I ended up making, I don't even know, close to $1 million with this guy. I helped him flip several properties. I would help him find investment properties, and then he would flip them. And then I would help him list those same homes. You can build relationships with people that see you working. Real estate is not just going into an office and sitting at a desk with your laptop.
Come on, preach it.
It's like it's going to Home Depot and buying mulch. It's literally, there are so many different things that you have to do that you get to do. I'm going to choose my words carefully to help your clients to bring value to the relationship. You've got to be thinking proactively. If I was going to buy or sell a home, what is it that I would want and or need? People need relevant information. What did the home down the street sell for? Real estate is very market specific. Put yourself in the shoes of the client that you're trying to help. What's going to get my home sold? And sometimes that requires you saying things that might be a little bit uncomfortable or a little difficult. I have news for you. Other people follow people. So honesty is massive. Don't try to candy coat something or do these little white lies or whatever. People can smell this stuff from a mile away. Authenticity, again, is your superpower. Tell it like it is. Be honest with people. They will respect you and value you. And then when it comes time to buy or sell or invest, they're going to be thinking about the person that kept it real with them. And they're going to think, we don't want any fluff or baloney. We're going to call Steve because he was honest with us. He told us what our home was really worth. The other agents were trying to buy the listing. And so you just got to keep it real and stay hungry. Super, super important. If you're happy getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, there's plenty of Starbucks where you can go apply and get a job. So,
But we're here to tell you how to become financially independent. Because let me tell you, Steve, real estate changed my life. I have lived so many incredible experiences because of the vehicle of real estate. But let me tell you, I may not be the smartest cookie in the cookie jar, but I am a racehorse. I will outwork anybody any day. However, I also have to confess, there's been moments and seasons in my real estate career where I've gotten lazy, where I've gotten unfocused, where I have played small, where I have allowed my limiting beliefs make me feel a certain way. And then I started acting like a small player. So it happens to everyone, but there comes a moment where you've got to stop the insanity. You've got to go talk to yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? You need to get with the program. You need to own this. You need to woman up. You need to man up. And that's the season that I am in right now of my life is I am surrounding myself with pro players.
Yeah.
Like people that are ready to grow, build, and scale. That's it. Very simple. Grow, build, and scale. It's not for everyone. Not everyone's ready. There's many times where I haven't been ready to grow, build, and scale. But you know what? When that time comes, you've got to get around people that are growing, building, and scaling. I mean, we could be here forever. And I love what you shared about taking that leap of faith. Was it a leap of faith leaving your traditional, mom and pop brokerage with I'm sure after 20 years, a broker you loved, you care for, a family? Was it a leap of faith?
It was a leap of faith. It was really overdue, to be totally honest. It was a personal decision. It had nothing to do with the people who I love dearly. I mean, my broker was like a father figure to me, and the agents in my office. I'm a Christian. That these are people who I love dearly, and I learned so much from spending time with these people. But the truth of the matter is, I started looking around and paying attention. I opened my eyes, and I noticed that all of the top talent had already left. And I just thought that I was blissfully ignorant. I was cruising. I was putting in a C effort and I was getting a C result. So it was time to drop it into second gear and zoom up to 120 miles an hour and take things to a whole nother level. There were a lot of reasons. It took me 6 months, by the way, to make this decision and finally pulled the trigger on changing brokerages.
Wow.
Maybe 4 months, but it took a while. This wasn't a decision that I took lightly. But it had to do with legacy building, owning the company that I was helping to build. I mean, at the end of the year at this other brokerage, I would get a piece of paper every year that said that I was the best, and here's a $100 gift card to a local restaurant. And to be honest with you, Lucy, I was thrilled with that. I thought that was the coolest thing. I've got a house full of things that have my name on them, wine openers and all kinds of cheesy knick-knacky things. Nothing that equates to any real lasting long-term growing value the way that I do with EXP. And so it was time for a change. And so it's time to surround myself with people who were doing things that were making them uncomfortable. So, I say hug the cactus. You should be running towards what you're afraid of. That's when you know that growth is coming. If you're uncomfortable, that is a sign that growth is happening.
Yes.
So, complacency and being comfortable, that's where dreams go to die. So the way to expand yourself professionally and personally, you don't just look at the weights. You got to push them around. You got to lift the weights in order to build the muscle and also increase your income. So.
Wow. Guys, listen, you're hearing it from someone. You are in Austin, Texas, right?
Yep.
You're in Austin, Texas. So exactly what you're saying from your experience in Austin, Texas resonates with Southwest Florida, all the other way on the other coast, because this is universal. I mean, I don't care if you are in Spain, if you are in Australia, in Dubai, in the US, in South America. This is universal. Everyone that has accomplished something bigger than them had to get real, right? Get real. So Let's go ahead. So $10 million is your, per quarter, $10 million per quarter. That's your goal. Awesome.
In sales, yeah, which I'm doing.
Wow. $10 million per quarter, my friends. Well, okay, break that down to units. Let's talk bite-sized pieces, right? Because $10 million sounds very sexy.
Yeah.
What's the amount of units required for you to hit $10 million in volume per quarter?
Well, and again, let's eat the elephant one bite at a time. To your point, so I've been at this for 20 years, so it's all about relationship building. I will be listing a home Thursday of this week. In fact, when we're done here, I'm going to a photo shoot. That home will be $1,695,000. I just got a home as of last night under contract over asking price for $1,215,000. That'll close on the 30th of June. I have 3 closings in June, and the total of those 3 closings is $2.6 million. So that's in 1 month. So, but these are not things that I just did overnight. These are relationships that I built over years. So I don't want to intimidate anybody. I do want to inspire and motivate and pour into people and get people fired up, because you can do the identical things that Lucy and I are doing. But this didn't happen overnight.
Right.
So 10 million in a quarter, that's about $2.5 million every month. And that's through my farm, that's through referrals, that's from me making 10 calls a day. So
how many calls a day? How many?
10 calls a day minimum.
Oh, not one. Wow. It's the same in Florida.
Guys, I've got some news for you. You have 4 touch points every single day. No excuses. Anyone can do this. My 81-year-old father taught me this little skill. It's incredible. One is, how are you doing? How's it going? I don't have any agenda. I just called Lucy to say hello and see how you and your family are doing. Oh, and by the way, are you thinking of buying or selling in the next 12 months? That's 1 touch point. 2 is, how is your brokerage treating you if you're an agent, if you're calling agent to agent? How do you feel at your brokerage? You don't have to mention any specific brokerage. Just are you being poured into? Are you being taken care of? 3 is, basically, how's the family? How's things going? What's new in your life? And then 4 is, what are your goals for the next year? What do you want to do in the next 12 months? Are you happy where you're living? There's always a reason to say hello to somebody, and most of the time they're pleased to talk to you, and they're just happy that you reached out, because no one's doing it. Another small nugget, and we can change subjects. When you call somebody, versus leaving a voicemail or texting someone, leave a video message. Super, super simple on your phone to just take a super quick video. Hey, Lucy, how are you? I'm just driving over to Whole Foods, and I just wanted to say hi. I've been thinking about you. I hope you have a smile on your face today. Let me know if you have anything that you want to talk about that's real estate related. Blessings to you and your family. Something simple like that, super quick. You will be blown away at the response you get. I had a person's wife whose birthday it was. I don't really know this gentleman's wife. Her name is Cynthia, but I called and left him a voicemail. And I said, tell Cynthia that I said, happy birthday. I left a video. It was like 6 a.m. He calls me back. He left a video message for me with a big smile on his face. He was down in the garage lifting weights, and he said, your message made my wife's day. And it was the coolest thing. And it's so simple, and it's free. These are little things that you can do. I mean, I have all kinds of nuggets that I could drop.
Listen, you are speaking my language.
Get out of your own way, people. Get out of your own way.
I'm telling you, Steve, you've got to come to Florida. I've got to have you at the academy. You've got to come share these things with my audience at MMA Monday Masterclass, at Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp, because you know what? Sometimes people really don't believe we're telling them the truth until they hear it from someone like you.
Yeah.
I mean, $10 million per quarter. That's why I wanted to break it down, because I want this to be so, simple to absorb, to take in. So determine your price point. You are at a, $1 million, $1 to $2 million. So figure the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Do your numbers. Number 2, you're talking about consistency. Number 3, you're doing things that, are out of the box. I tell people video messages. If you don't want to do a video because you know how people are, I don't like my nose, I don't like my face, I don't like the way I look. I'm like, listen, Let me give you a newsflash. That's how you look. That's exactly how you look. So unless you're looking to surprise somebody, I remember when I got into real estate, and then we're going to jump into your magic of geo farming. So everybody hang tight. I remember when I got into real estate in the year 2000, I was surrounded by agents that had gotten into the business in the early 1980s, early 1990s. And I remember looking at business cards that I would literally say, who is this? Where is this agent? I've never seen them. And I would ask the receptionist, because obviously the receptionist knew everybody, who is this Lois lady? And she would say, oh, look, that's her right there. It was like her first communion picture on her business card 50 years ago. I'm like, that doesn't look like her. So, the days of surprising people are over. That's why I love social media, because what you see is what you get. If we align, I'm the one for you. And if we don't, it is what it is. So, video, I tell people, if you don't like your video, send audio.
Yeah.
I do a lot of audio because I know that audio is easier and people will listen to it. And at the end of the day, I want people to recognize my voice, right? So do you do audio at all?
I do a lot of audio. I do a lot of everything, to be totally honest with you. I'd like the floodgates have opened in the last few years specifically. I have 2 YouTube channels. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. Of course, I'm on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is for kind of the heavy hitters. The people are a lot more serious on LinkedIn. I've got Facebook personal. I've got Facebook business. I'm doing my farming. I'm getting on stages. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And I genuinely enjoy it. I love getting invited to do these podcasts. Of course, I was a little rusty this morning too. It was a long weekend. I've got my coffee sitting here, but this is something that I am so passionate about because my life has completely changed, just like yours, Lucy. And somebody would have told me 20 years ago that you're going to be, I'm not going to go into the details, but just to be specific. So in June, I will earn over $50,000. So that, I'm not saying that to have my nose in the air. I'm saying that to inspire and motivate and fire up people who haven't reached that goal yet. It's very, very doable. It's real, it's attainable. I'm just a regular guy. There's nothing, I'm no different than anyone in this audience. I'm just, how do you use your 24 hours? And if that's something that you'd like to do, guess what? You're in the right place.
Yes.
So, and that's why we're here to pour into you. So,
so now let's show your magic. So guys, $50,000 per month by working consistently, working intentionally, working premeditatedly. Like if you're going to be guilty of something, be guilty of being premeditated in everything that you do, so I love what you're sharing, Steve, because I'm not in production, right? So I decided not to go back into production when I came into EXP because I have a vision of, building a very powerful organization, right? I've been inspired by some of the incredible mega organization builders that you and I get to be in business with, and anybody else that wants to, do that can do the same. So, but I've reinvented myself in many ways, and I've repositioned myself, and I've made sure that I stay relevant, visible, that I am the voice. And so that's why we're here. So everybody get ready, take out your pen and paper. Let's go deep into the magic of what you've been doing for 15 years, geographical farming. So take it away.
So geo farming, guys, this is low hanging fruit. And this is a missed opportunity. That's been my experience. It's been a missed opportunity by so many agents. I would say most, pretty much. We are all familiar with getting that one postcard in the mail that says just sold on it. And it's got a beautiful picture of Coach Lucy's face. And she just sold 101 Main Street down the road. And then you never hear from that person again. Wonderful postcard. Probably cost about 80 cents to put that together and send it out. And let's be honest, it's going to go to the local landfill within a few weeks at the most. And then you never hear from that agent again. So geofarming specifically, we'll back up just a tiny bit. It's picking a neighborhood that you know, and maybe you live in the same community. Maybe your kids go to the schools there ideally. And the homes, again, are going to be 3 to 5, probably 7 years old. I wouldn't say a lot older, and you definitely don't want to be farming a brand new community. But these are the things that you want to kind of write down. I'm going to give you all kinds of nuggets.
So I'm going to have my team writing these things in the chat, so we can create kind of like a step-by-step for our audience. So I want my team to start writing. So the first thing you said was you want to look for an area. How do you pick your area?
So you want to determine the size, because there is, of course, a cost associated with geofarming. These things, these cost money to mail out. My farm is 750 houses. That may be a little big for some people, but I think I don't think it should be any smaller than around 400 homes. And the way that you want to think of a farm is literally like a piece of soil. So 1 acre of dirt. I'm a big metaphor person. So
okay.
1 acre of dirt, and you create your rows and you plant your seeds, and then you're going to harvest fruit when it comes time to harvest in the way of listings. That's what we're trying to do, guys. We're trying to basically stay in front of a particular audience, which is your farm, 400 homeowners.
Okay.
And you want 400 to 750, and you want to stay in front of the Lucys and the Steves and the Thalias over and over and over, so that when it comes time to buy or sell, Lucy's going to remember Steve. Steve's the guy. Right. Steve's the one I want. Let's look in the kitchen drawer and find one of his infographic postcards. Let's call Steve and just invite him over to tell us how much he thinks our home is worth.
Okay, so you're saying that these postcards, between the postcard and the mailing, is about 80 cents.
On average. It depends on what you're
figure $1. Worst case scenario.
Yeah, postage is not cheap anymore.
Right. I can't believe how much it costs now to send something out. But anyway, okay. So you pick an area, and you want the properties to be at least 5
to 7 years, statistically speaking. And I've seen this happen a million times. In fact, I have a home listed right now. We just adjusted the price last night. Golfing friend of mine, he bought the home 4 years ago. Now I'm listing it for sale for him. He's moving to Florida. He just bought the house 4 years ago. And that's another thing. You'd be amazed, for those of you who are newer agents, you'd be amazed at how many people, this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So you're going to meet Coach Lucy. You're going to help her buy her home. She's going to be so excited. You're going to give her a big basket to say, welcome to your brand new home. Fast forward 4 years, guess who's listing her home and selling it with you? Coach Lucy. So this is another reason why you want to stay in front of your audience, and farming is a wonderful way to do that. So I don't want to jump ahead. You want to pick four, maybe 500 homes. That's about it. They want to be 5 to 7 years old. Ideally, it's a community that you're familiar with. It's not and here's a huge thing, guys. Forget what other agents are doing. Mm-hmm. I can already read a lot of your minds right now. It doesn't matter what Lucy's doing. Forget about her sign that's 2 doors down in the other yard.
Okay.
Stay in your lane. Stay laser focused on your own success. You too can be successful. Focus on your business. If anything, what you want to do is rip off and duplicate what Lucy's doing. So 400 homes, 500 maybe tops, because there is a cost associated with this. It's around $3,500 to $4,000 per year for me to farm one neighborhood. So that's a number to write down. Around $3,500 to $4,000. It's a tax write-off, and the return on investment is massive. One listing. It
costs about $4,000 a year to run your campaign.
Yeah.
And if you had to give it a number for the $4,000 investment, what is the gross potential income?
10x all day long. I mean, $40,000, $50,000. I mean, 2 listings, and there you go. And I've done this every single year for the past 13 years, 14 years, from the same neighborhood every year. There are homes, Lucy, in this one particular neighborhood that I've listed and sold 3 times.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you work mainly, so you became the go-to in a neighborhood.
And now 2. Yeah, because I'm farming the neighborhood across the street now, because they're relevant. They're relevant to each other. So people who live in the one community know that they have friends and family that live in the other community. and so I've just piggybacked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, for for $4,000 to mail out 450.
I think we have some of your postcards here. Did you want us to show some of these?
Yes, please, absolutely.
Okay, so here we have one of the postcards. Tell us about this one.
Well, so this is a design. I love these colors. I had someone design a logo for me. I also have an app, and that maybe can be on another phone call. But these are all tools. You can't really see it on the screen, but these are tools on my belt that separate me from other agents. One thing I want to point out about this picture specifically, guys, you definitely want to write this down. Those are actual stamps. Do not run your mail through a postage meter. Do not run your mail through a postage meter, guys.
Okay, got it.
This is really important. The details matter. Go to the post office, take your little ones with you, have some fun, make it a fun outing, and buy actual postage. You want to get that envelope opened. You're going to touch each one of these envelopes probably 5 times. It's a lot of work when you mail these out specifically. I'm trying to find just the right angle to show you where it says EXP and it has my mailing address on the upper left-hand corner of the envelope. Yeah. But yeah,
we're able to see what we're showing on the screen. I know with the background, it doesn't let you see it. But okay, so number 1, use postage.
Yep. Number 1, use postage. Number 2, have your return address, buy a stamp. It's super. These are very, very easy to do.
The $1 million question, because now people are going to get ready to be ready when they're ready, so they can be ready to be ready. Because you know how that works, right? Where do you get the stamp done? Like simple. Where do you go get the stamp? The one that you're using?
FedEx, Kinko's.
FedEx, Kinko's, Staples, Office Depot.
Yeah.
So don't get stuck in the woods. Don't get stuck in the woods.
The other thing, guys, I mean, I have so many tricks. I hope that we can continue this dialogue. I will absolutely come to Florida, by the way, Lucy, and you and I can hug, and I'll give you a fist pump. But
yes,
so, little simple things, guys. This is a sticker that I put on every one of those cards for a Google review.
Yes, Google reviews. Oh my goodness.
Google reviews. You want to massage the algorithm. It's another whole topic. I could go on about this stuff for hours and hours. This is how I built my business. Little simple things that make you different from the other agent. Don't think about how you can't be successful. Focus on the ways that you can be successful and watch what happens. Attention goes where energy flows. So, I mean, like Tony Robbins quote, my business card, another wonderful example of how I am different from other agents. This is a magnetic poker chip business card. These go in all my envelopes. So this is another thing that changes stuff.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So we're looking at the postcard. Now this postcard, you send it out by itself, right? This is just a regular mailing postcard?
4 times per year.
Okay, 4 times per year. Oh, and look at all the.
Yeah, now this is another project that I do twice per year. These are real fun. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of work. That's 750 envelopes. That is only a third of the picture.
Okay.
Every one of those envelopes, I'm licking, sticking, stuffing, and stamping. I mean, it's a lot of work. I guarantee.
How long does it take you to do 750?
A week. It takes me a week. I just sit and do it at night. I watch Netflix. And I just crank it out. I just crank it out. There's no pressure.
Oh, you do it at night. So you don't use this to say you're busy during working hours, like most people would want to do. Like, I can't call anybody. I can't follow up. I can't do content. I can't do the money-making activity, right? Because I'm doing envelopes, but you're doing it at night. I want to be clear because I know how the psychology of real estate professionals works.
I don't get a paycheck every 2 weeks, right? So if you want to be comfortable, again, you can be comfortable making $5,000 a month. That's your decision. I hustle and I work hard. And yes, that includes working at night while I'm watching TV. I don't drink alcohol, but whatever. I've got my Topo Chico with lime and I'm just, I've got a sponge and I got my stamps and I'm farming away and it pays huge dividends. And, this is another thing, guys. You are the CEO of your own business. I came up with this a few years ago on a stage down in Cabo San Lucas, and I got a standing ovation. We create every opportunity. You are the CEO of your own business. You're an independent contractor. CEOs create every opportunity. Write that little nugget down. So
Yes.
think about your business that way. You are literally the CEO of your own company. It's an amazing thing. It's liberating, it's freedom, it's empowering, and you get to earn as much as you'd like. Farming is one way to do it. There's lots of ways to do it. Anyways,
I love
5 to 7 year old homes, 4 of these per year. The farming leads to all kinds of other things too. So bigger picture in mind, guys. So 50,000 foot view. When, let's say you farm a neighborhood, you stick with it for at least 18 months. I've had several people that I have coached, and they say after 4 or 5 months, I'm not really getting the result that I thought that I was going to get. I haven't gotten any phone calls. And I'm thinking, well, we talked about this. It hasn't been a year yet, has it? It hasn't been 18 months. When a farmer goes out at 4 a.m. in the dark and starts planting seeds, they're not coming out 3 days later looking to see if anything green is showing up in that field. It takes a little bit of time. You have to be persistent with your farm. You've got to stay in front of your audience. The best time to start farming was yesterday. People who are thinking about selling their home in the spring of 27, guess what? They're going to start talking about that in the next probably 4 to 5 months, realistically, if they're not talking about it now. So fall really is prime time, but you want to be tilling that soil now, fertilizing, putting some sunlight on it, watering that soil, and then you're going to harvest in the spring of 27. So now's a great time to start your farm. Don't think about any limiting belief stuff. Pick a neighborhood, mail out a card. If you don't know what to mail, get with me on Instagram, and I'll give you a discount on all my farming stuff. And I'll show you literally what to send and when to send it. I have all the stuff. I've already done it all. 4 postcards.
I have a question. Real quick, I have a question. So you've done the tracking, you've done the measuring. I'm sure that, hey, you already know what works, what doesn't work, right? So for those that are thinking, okay, I'm gonna start doing this, right? But I'd like to get an idea of how long I need to do it before I start getting phone calls. Have you been able to identify if you start, let's say whenever, if you start today, it's going to take you X amount, or you need to do it consistently for X amount? And what does that consistency look like? Is it like the 700 at one time, or is it, 50 a week? What does that look like?
I would plan on a minimum of 6 months. I mean, you've got to make, I would say, at least 3 to 4 touch points for that entire audience before someone's going to pick the phone up and call you. None of us have a crystal ball. It could take as long as a year. You've got to remember, just like on social media, we all have 500 friends or 2,000 friends, and maybe 10 of them hit the like button on your posts, but all the other people are still seeing you. So you cannot forget that you are still casting a very wide net. So you're still touching people. They might not just be communicating with you. You're still leaving an impression. And that's something that's really, really important to remember. The one day, and I've saved so many voicemails. I remember being on the beach in Destin, Florida, and a woman called me about coming to see her home, and I was in board shorts and I had my shirt off, and I mean, it was the ultimate situation. And I'm dancing around down the beach from the family, and my people are looking at me like, what's he doing? And I basically just got, it was a $25,000 phone call. That's how I looked at it. And she said, when you're back from Destin, can you come, tell us how much our home is worth? We'd like to have you list our house in a month. I mean, I was flipping out, and I will never forget those phone calls. It takes a little bit of time.
Yes.
And it's worth every penny. One thing I want to touch on, though, is it's not just the farming. This is the tip of the iceberg. Let's fast forward a little bit. You farm a community for 6 months, let's say in a perfect world. We don't live in a perfect world. You farm the neighborhood 6 months. Lucy calls and says, I'd love for you to come and look at my home. You show up polished, professional, early. You know your stuff in and out. You win that listing. You list that home. Guess what? Now you're holding the home open. Now you've got your sign in the front of that community, and it says Coach Lucy on it with a beautiful picture. And then all the neighbors who have gotten all of your postcards in the mail are now seeing Coach Lucy's face on the open house sign, and they're getting something in their mailbox. Next thing you know, you have 2 listings. Then the neighbor walks over and says, hey, I noticed that you've gotten my friend's home under contract in a matter of a week. We're thinking of selling in 2 weeks. Our son is leaving to go off to college. We're going to be empty nesters. Would you mind coming over next Tuesday at 6 and telling us what you think? Because it seems like you did pretty good with that house and you're really hustling. And all of a sudden your business just blossoms. I am living proof that this happens. And then that ties into, and now I'm getting caffeinated, so look out, you guys. that ties into civic, social, and charitable things. And so you correlate all of this stuff together, and you've got this recipe for a very successful business. And then you're doing 6 figures a month, and your life completely changes. And you're happy and bringing value to the lives of these people that you live around. And they're happy to see you, and you're being compensated for what you're worth.
Yes.
I mean, your whole world changes. Your self-esteem is different. You carry yourself differently. You speak differently, and your world just opens up. It's kind of like, imagine a baby bird that gets kicked out of the nest. You're falling for 20 feet before you get to open your wings. And, and I love the metaphors. It's a little scary at first. I got news for you. You're going to have to spend a little bit of money to get the train out of the station. But once you do it, and you believe in yourself and you manifest these things, your life will change forever. And if you need some inspiration and motivation, talk to Coach Lucy or myself, and we'll fire you up.
Well, listen, I'm going to declare that you will be in Southwest Florida live at the Academy. Let me tell you, I've got the most amazing audience and people that show up at the Academy week after week. And they're not just real estate agents, because in my mind, after coming from spending 4 days with Brent Gove, our senior partner, Brent Gove, he opened up my mind. He opened my mind, and I realized that real estate is not just for realtors, that anyone can get their real estate license and build a powerful real estate organization, okay? And start surrounding themselves with, the Steves of the world and the Lucys of the world. Listen, you and I didn't get into real estate being who we are now.
No.
But if you're like me, and I know you are, Steve, you got into real estate because you said it earlier. You wanted to do something big. Maybe you didn't even know what that big was, but you've always been a worker. You've always had great work ethic. You've always been a man that, finds a way, not excuses, right? Because, hello, let's be real. Most people find excuses, but then there's people that find a way, right? Exactly. And my academy has really become the only ecosystem building a movement of growth, building business, and scaling. So we've got to have you in Southwest Florida. I mean, we could be here for so long. And now I have a friend in Austin, Texas, right?
Yes.
You have a friend in Southwest Florida. We got to keep doing things together, because what you're doing and what I'm doing is so needed in our industry. People that are coming to bring the good news of, hey, listen, you could do this, but you got to get up, rise up, and show up. Right?
Yeah.
I want to respect your time, but this is so good. I mean, I've got people writing saying you got to come to Southwest Florida. How do you want to close this out? What are your last tips? Because this is some deep stuff. This is powerful stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have specific instructions on how to do this. I know this has been kind of a high level meeting, but follow me on Instagram, and I will give everybody a discount. I sell a whole package on this that includes all the cards, the letters, when to mail, how to mail, all the details. That's on my Instagram. I'm going to put my phone number in the chat. I am an open playbook. You guys are welcome to text me or call me, and we can discuss this in more detail. Lucy is amazing. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here. So again, I know this has been kind of high level, but I'm more than happy to take the time to discuss the details of this with you and how you can start your farm, how to picket, all of those fun things. And then I've got civic, social, and charitable things that I can share with you as well. I host 3 events per year also, which is another wonderful way to bring people together to build your business and to have fun while you're doing it. It doesn't have to all be work. I mean, God forbid you enjoy what you're doing and you get paid to do it. I mean, it's such what a blessing it is to help people and to have them smile when you show up in front of their house. So I'm just flattered to be here and so excited to be able to help everybody. So anything I can do to continue collaborating, count me in.
Well, listen, I know you and I are going to stay connected. I totally believe in divine connections. I believe this has been a divine connection. I really believe that the best is yet to come for those of us that are, committed to doing whatever it takes. I'm super happy to call you a colleague at eXp Realty, a co-owner along with me. Were you at Cabo? Were you at Cabo a couple months back?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Cabo San Lucas. I have temporary residency down there. I am in Cabo once every 6 weeks. I'm actually helping to promote a development down there. We don't necessarily have to go into the details there. It's by Costa Palmas, but a brand new development there. I have lots of friends in Cabo San Lucas. That is kind of my second home. And so, yes, I'm in Cabo regularly. And for those of you who have not been, you've got to go visit. It's absolutely spectacular. And
Beautiful. Yes. I was just there with Build. Was it Build? No, One Fire.
Yeah, One Big Fire.
One Big Fire. Yes.
So got all the pens.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Invite me to Cabo. We'll spend some time. We'll mastermind. Thank you so much, Steve. This has been totally amazing. Everybody light up the chat. Give some hearts. Go follow Steve. And you know what? You just reminded me. I'm going to start doing some farming for my MMA Monday Masterclass mailers, right? Because every realtor needs help with money-making activity. And I'm also going to do mailers for my Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp because, hey, who doesn't need to be in an ecosystem of growth, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Steve. You've been phenomenal. Thank you so much. Guys, we'll see you next time on Agents in the Trenches.